In this video, I want to start setting up the ability to attach things to our walls, so that way we can work on our ceilings. So for example, I set up a wall. I want to be able to set up another wall, or, well, really just attach a ceiling kind of to the wall. So in order to do that, we have to set up our sockets, obviously, and I'm probably going to end up using walls for the sockets, or ceilings for the, I cannot speak, using walls for the ceilings. I may just import another texture, we'll just have to kind of see. But anyways, to do that, we also need to figure out what component we are hitting. So we're going to work on the basic stuff for now, and we're just going to, the farthest that we're going to get in this video is setting up the sockets and setting up to figure out which component we are actually hitting. I don't think we're going to extend this video any longer, but we'll just have to get there. So let's go to our assets, our wall, and our wall mesh. Go to the socket manager, and we're going to add a socket, and I'm going to call this one C for ceiling, POS 0. So that's going to be our position, and by default, we're going to use the wall. Let's drag this on up to the top and rotate it 90 degrees. And that's going to be that one there. Actually, realistically, that's all we need. We only need one socket. So we could just have C POS 0. So anyways, that's going to be our socket. And now it probably wouldn't hurt to, let's see if we even have that set up to be able to do so. Get hit socket, where are we at? Yeah, get hit socket transform, get instant socket transform. We're currently only going off the foundation by default. So we need to get the hit mesh. So we have our socket here. Now let's go ahead and get the hit component. So it's either going to be currently the foundation instance mesh or the wall instanced mesh. And that is stored inside of our hit result. So what we can do is if you prim, actually better yet, we're going to go ahead and by default flat out cast it. So we need to get the type. So these are U instanced static mesh components. So if U instanced static mesh component hit component equals cast U instanced static mesh component, and we are casting from the hit result dot get component. And that should give us our component, hopefully. And inside of here, we want to print out a log. So I'm actually just going to copy this commented out log, and we're going to print out the name of the hit component. So hit component, hit component, get name. So now let's go ahead and perform our live coding, check the output log, and give this a try. Drag up the output log here, scroll all the way down, hit play, and place it down. So right now, the hit component is the foundation instance static mesh component. I placed down a wall, and then I'm going to place down another foundation just for testing. And we're on the foundation. Now it says we hit the wall. Now we hit the foundation again. Okay, so we know that we are able to get the hit instanced mesh, and that's what we wanted. So now that we have that, I'm going to give that a try real quick. So we're going to wrap this up like so. And then we're going to get the hit component. We're going to use the hit component in place of the foundation instanced mesh, like so. And if everything has gone well, we should be able to see the sockets of what we're hovering over. So we're going to go to our get instance socket transform. I still have my draw debug stuff here. So I'm going to move that so it actually draws it so I can see it visually. You can you don't really have to do that step. That's just kind of for me, and I guess to give an example to you guys. And let's see what happens. So we place that down. We got everything placed on the wall. And I am seeing, not quite, wall position 0. Wait a minute, why is it wall position 0? I'm a little confused on that. Unless, did I rotate this to the wrong direction maybe? Let me go here, And out of curiosity, I'm going to move it out by 200 because it should be CPOS 0. Oops. That is still... I cannot quite tell what that actually says. It looks like there's a W and a C possibly in there, and I can't zoom in on it. Go figure. But it's showing the socket, for whatever reason, is right there at that origin. I'm going to give this a long name and just see if that's what it actually is. Like that. And maybe we'll actually be able to see that. No, it's still showing W position 0. So, oh yeah, that's right. We're not actually getting the socket names that we need. So that is clearly our problem there. I didn't actually think about that. So what we can do is, at least for the time being, create another T array. And this is going to be our wall sockets. So if we head up here for begin play, foundation sockets equals that. We're going to do wall sockets equals our wall instance mesh, get all socket names, and now we just got to figure out how to actually go through and get them. Because right now we're just going over the foundation sockets, nothing more. And let's think. We have our hit component. We need to figure out what type it actually is. So we can get the mesh from it and do comparisons that way. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to set up our own class of the instance mesh component just for extra information. However, let's see, because by default, if we can't get the socket transform, it is going to return to 0 because it's basically just an empty one. So we need to think of this. I might just set this up for the next video, I think, so that way I can also think about it and maybe come up with a better solution than doing it on the fly. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So the only thing we've done is we've added all of our wall sockets to an array on the header, just like we did with our foundation. We are checking to see if what we are hitting, like the component that we're hitting, is an instance static mesh component. We're already getting the index, so that is correct. Now we just had to figure out a way to iterate over whichever one of these sockets that we need to use. So we may keep with a similar naming scheme, but I could see some limitations and problems with that. So we're going to avoid that. So anyways, that is going to be all for this video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon down in the description below, where I have a team deathmatch series just for Patrons, as well as you get early access to nearly all of my videos. If you have a question or anything like that, feel free to join my Discord. That's also linked down below, and I'll try to help you out. So, in the meantime, rename this to CPOS 0 and put it back into position if you moved it like I did. And that is going to be all.